is patterns. Patterns of endless number and variety. On a beach, it's the break and roll of water. In a river, the dance of ripples in a summer breeze. Water is patterns of tranquility, purpose, and just plain fun. Water is one pattern in streets after a summer rain, another in the death of winter, and yet another, the most breathtaking pattern of all, in the bursting of spring from the frozen earth. Water is patterns, and yet it is far more than this, for wherever it flows, in streams and rivers, in lakes above ground and reservoirs below, water brings us life. Water is the pattern of our life. Is rich in water. Lake Erie to the north, from Toledo to Conneaut, an inland sea of it linking Ohio to the Atlantic Ocean and the ports of the world. To the south, the Ohio River, a pendant necklace of water joining Ohio to the Mississippi Basin and the Gulf of Mexico. And between the big river and the lake, tying the Ohio land together, the long valleyed rivers with the Indian names, the Maumee, Muskingum, Scioto, and the Miami. On the surface of the land, some 6,000 streams. And beneath the surface, a moving, silent mass of water several times greater than all of our lakes and rivers combined. Ohio is rich in water. So rich, indeed, that we have taken it for granted. We use it and let it slip through our fingers. But water is no longer a resource to be taken for granted. Our growing need for it is a problem affecting the lives of all of us. How we think about it, what we do about it, has much to do with the future of our state. So let us begin by facing it. Let us begin at the beginning, with the prime source of all Ohio water, rain. Rainfall and what happens to it when it reaches the earth forms what is known as the hydrologic cycle. The cycle begins with rain falling on the face of the land. Some goes into the soil to become underground water. Some runs off the land into streams and rivers. But the land and the rivers do not keep this water. Some of it evaporates. Some is used by plants and returned to the atmosphere through the process of transpiration. 2/3 of Ohio's rainfall returns to the atmosphere this way, then begins its round trip again. This is the hydrologic cycle which replenishes daily our sources of water in Ohio. What are these sources? In addition to rainfall, which supplies 74 billion gallons a day to the Ohio land and its 6,000 rivers and streams, we have Lake Erie, a vast natural reservoir storing 100,000 billion gallons of water, capable of yielding many times Ohio's present use, and the Ohio River, carrying 20,000 billion gallons each year past Cincinnati. These are Ohio's water sources, rich, abundant, changing little throughout the centuries. But beautiful as this hydrologic system is, it is not ideal. Sometimes we have droughts. Whenever and wherever faucets trickle instead of flow, wells run dry. Streams and reservoirs become low. Then and there, Ohioans face the test of their water planning, be it surface supply or wells to draw up underground water. What do we mean by underground water? Well, let's take a look at a piece of land and see what happens when it rains. Rain falls, soaks into the ground. It moves slowly downward, seeking a mass of water commonly known as the water table. In effect, a kind of sponge composed of gravel, sand, or soil. In summer, when our streams run low, the water table feeds them. This is what keeps rivers flowing even though it doesn't rain. After heavy rains, when the streams rise above the water table, they help replenish it. An important feature of Ohio's underground water supply is its ancient buried valleys, covered thousands of years ago by glaciers. The glacial deposits in these valleys may be hundreds of feet deep and several miles across. They, too, are constantly being replenished. Into them we sink our wells, wells capable of supplying homes, farms, even cities the size of Dayton and Springfield. There is no doubt about the abundance of Ohio's water sources. Yet sometimes our wells run dry. Why? It may be because of drought. If water is being pumped out and none is coming in, the water taken must be sought farther and farther down into the earth. But even in years of ample rainfall, when more and more users tap into the same underground reservoir, the level goes down and down. Wells run dry, and the man with the deepest well gets the water. There is no law to stop him, nor to protect him. Today, Ohioans are drawing underground water from nearly 1 million wells, drilling between 15 and 20,000 new ones each year. In some places, threatening to use water faster than it can be replenished. Drought is a recurring problem. It is made more serious by Ohio's increasing water use. We use over the whole state 13 billion gallons of water each day. Our industrial water use is highest in the nation. Our total use is twice that of the national average. Why? Where does it go? We use it ourselves. We drink it, shower in it, wash with it, use it for every household task under the sun. Municipal use in Ohio each day is 1 billion gallons. Rural use is also heavy, 100 million gallons a day in rural Ohio homes. Ohio livestock use nearly 50 million gallons, almost as much as the city of Columbus. When rainfall is inadequate, water is often supplied for irrigation. Golf courses use more water for irrigation than agriculture does. But probably the greatest irrigation user of all is you when you water your lawn. Water can be used only once for irrigating, and then it's gone, back into the clouds through evapotranspiration. But it's not irrigating or drinking or washing with water that adds up to so much. 9/10 of water use in Ohio is by industry, 11 billion gallons a day. It is literally industry's #1 raw material. For each gallon of gasoline coming out of Ohio's refineries, 10 gallons of water are used. 60 gallons are required to can a bushel of tomatoes. 60,000 gallons to produce a ton of paper. To produce a ton of steel, 65,000 gallons. Indeed, some of Ohio's major industrial plants use more water in a day than cities the size of Toledo or Cincinnati. Of all industries, The electric power industry is most dependent upon large amounts of water. It uses 8 billion gallons a day in Ohio. However, it sends almost all of it back to the river, slightly warmer. Indeed, this is the pattern of all water use in Ohio. For the most part, it is only borrowed from a source and then returned. In the process, some is evaporated, much is warmed up. Almost all is polluted in one way or another.